So, Arvind, his dad, and Akash's family walk into the room, right? They open the door and what they see totally freaks them out. Akash is lying there looking super weird and scary with a bunch of crazy scratches all over his body. So hey everyone, welcome back to another horror video. I know as soon as the video starts you're all wondering if I've made any money or if I changed the background or something. Well, yeah, I did make some money. I'll explain how at the end of the video. If you get it, let's dive into our story. Today's horror story is pretty intense, guys, but before we start, I want to share something. You've probably heard people say that where there's truth, there's also evil. Where there's light, there's darkness. Just like that, where there are gods, there are also demons. And today, I'm going to tell you a chilling tale about a really dangerous demon named Munjya. This story is set in a small town in Maharashtra, right next to a river. Or more like a pond, you know, the kind that's nearby. There's a small town where two friends have grown up together and are now around 20 or 21 years old. One of them is named Akash and the other is Arvind. This is their story, so don't skip the video. Stick around till the end, it's going to be fun. So guys, the story starts on Akash's 21st birthday. Arvind and Akash are really good friends who always look forward to special moments for each other. When it's Akash's birthday, Arvind starts to think, so I'm planning to wish him at midnight. Arvind comes up with a plan, and at 12 a.m. he goes over to Akash and says, "Hey man, happy birthday!" Then he takes him to this pond I told you about in their city. Once they get there, they cut the cake together. After cutting the cake, Arvind pulls out a bottle of beer from his bag. Just so you know, Akash and Arvind have never touched alcohol before, but Arvind said, "Hey, we're grown-ups now, it's time for a new experience." So, Akash decided to go along with his friend's suggestion, thinking it would be a new experience. He grabbed a beer, and the two started drinking right there. Around midnight, after chilling and enjoying their beers for about 2 or 3 hours, Arvind turns to Akash and says, "Hey man, I really need to hit the toilet. I'll be right back." So, Arvind walks a bit away to a tree to take a leak, but being drunk, he doesn't pay attention to where he's going. He's taking a leak by a tree, which is a peepal tree. He totally ignores that and just goes on with it. Suddenly, something like a stone falls on his head from the tree. He feels it and wonders what just hit him, but when he looks up, there's nothing there. So, he goes back to doing his business. Meanwhile, Arvind's friend Akash, whose birthday it is, comes up from behind with a beer bottle in his hand, clearly a bit buzzed. You know how people are always up to something? So, in the middle of all that, Akash tried to scare Arvind by throwing a beer bottle next to him. And as soon as he tossed it, that glass bottle crashed right into the peepal tree. Before we move on in the video, just like popping that glass bottle, when that glass bottle hit the tree, it shattered and fell to the ground. But then a strange animal sound started coming from the peepal tree. For a moment, both Arvind and Akash were stunned. They looked at the tree and thought it might just be their imagination. After a little while, the sound stopped. Then Akash, whose birthday it was, said, "Dude, this is the best birthday ever. Let's do something special to make it memorable." He picked up the broken glass bottle and wrote AA for both his and Arvind's names on the peepal tree. Then he said, "All right, let's go. It's a memorable day for us because this is where we first started drinking beer. So whenever we want to drink in the future, we'll come back here and look at this tree." While we were watching, a heavy branch fell from the tree right on top of Akash, and he passed out. Seeing Akash out cold, Arvind rushed over and started shaking him, saying, "Hey, wake up, wake up!" He moved the branch, but Akash was still out of it. Then, out of nowhere, Arvind felt something heavy fall from the tree right behind him, like something that must have weighed 40 or 50 kilos. A heavy object fell from above, and he heard a noise. When he turned around, Arvind felt his skin crawl. He saw a strange creature that looked like a small child in the dark, just really odd. The only thing that stood out were its glowing blue eyes shining in the darkness. Just seeing those eyes sent chills down Arvind's spine, and he tried to run away immediately. But before he could, the entity started scratching him from behind with its claws. Arvind struggled to fight it off. Arvind was scared because, when people get scared, they tend to panic. So he scrambled away and stood about 100 to 150 meters ahead of his friend Akash by a tree and started watching from a distance. He yelled out, "Akash, run! Akash, run!" From far away, Arvind saw that the entity had taken the form of a black shadow. After turning into that shadow, it moved towards Akash, who was lying down, and entered his body through his mouth. As soon as that dark shadow entered Akash's body, he immediately gets up but looks really weird while doing it. Arvind sees him from a distance and calls out, but as he's shouting, he goes quiet because he realizes that his friend Akash isn't really there. Akash's eyes are glowing bright red in a really creepy way. At that moment, Akash picks up a piece of a bottle he had thrown earlier that broke and starts tearing his t-shirt on his chest. He rips the shirt to reveal some sign he's made on his skin. He's making that same sign on his chest with the broken glass bottle, and seeing that, Arvind standing a bit far away feels even worse. But when luck's on your side, sometimes nothing can go wrong. Just then, the sun rises, and it lights everything up because they've pretty much wasted the whole night there. As morning breaks and the sun's rays hit Arvind, he gets dizzy and falls down. Meanwhile, Arvind, from a distance, realizes that maybe morning has finally come. Everything should go back to normal. He immediately runs over to Akash and takes him home. After getting home, they both crash out in their respective places. But as soon as they wake up the next around 4:05 p.m., something really terrifying happens. When Arvind wakes up around that time, the first thing he does is go to his dad and tells him everything that went down the previous night. His dad is actually a well-known and pretty famous priest in the city. As soon as they found out, they were totally shocked, like, "Why didn't you tell us earlier?" So, holding Arvind's hand, they rushed straight to Akash's house. When they got there, they asked Akash's parents where he was, and they said he had been sleeping in his room since morning. So Arvind, his dad, and Akash's family all went to his room. When they opened the door, they were hit with a horrifying sight. Akash was lying there with a really creepy, twisted expression on his face. His body had a ton of weird scratches, and he was in really bad shape. Just seeing him made everyone feel awful. Arvind's dad quickly grabbed his hand, and they went to that tree where the entity of Munjya was. Once they got there, Arvind and his dad stood in front of the tree and asked for forgiveness, saying, "Please forgive us. Please forgive us." They did a small puja, and after that, they didn't see the Munjya entity again. So guys, if you liked the video,